Massey. I'm student meteorologist Charlie Bowen.
And I am student meteorologist Tevin Wooten. It is Tuesday, October 17th. Charlie, can you smell that? It's fall.
It's fall. We got a little bit of those cold temperatures today, and it felt beautiful.
It did feel beautiful today. I went to bed yesterday thinking, oh, it's it's not going to cool down too much. But of course, if you're up late studying, like a lot of us during midterm week, you get outside, you realize it is starting to get cooler at night, and then we wake up this morning, I had the sweater on.
That's right. It was actually the first time I was able to turn off the AC last night, so that was an amazing feeling, being able to just open the windows and not sweat profusely.
Of course, too, and then the dry sky. We didn't have to worry about rain, and we don't really have to worry about rain throughout a lot of the week, and we'll get more of that forecast in just a second from Emily Daly in just a second. But, we just want to take this time to just realize that fall is here.
Right.
In its full glory.
Hopefully it sticks around for a while, but I'm sure Emily and everyone else will discuss that later on in the show.
That's right. And, obviously we talk about fall and it being a lot of, pumpkin season, pumpkin spice, or football weather. It really is football weather now if you're from anywhere in the South. That's right. A lot of us are. You have to actually feel it for it to feel like fall.
That's right. All that crime and all that pain and punishment that they dealt with.
That's right. In the summer.
In the summer, it's paying off now. That's
I'm sure Coach Fisher and some of the boys are happy about that.
That's right.
So let's go ahead and get a quick check of the forecast and overview with student meteorologist Emily Daly.
Thanks, guys. For today's Almanac, we were at 75 degrees for our high, which is just lower than our average, but our low was still just a little bit above what our average is. Today, at the current conditions, it is 75 degrees and partly cloudy, so it is beautiful out. This is great fall weather, and it's starting to finally feel a little bit like it's October. Our dew point is only at 55, and our humidity is only at 50, so things are fairly comfortable today. Tonight, it will be pretty clear, and our temperature should be at 63, which is pretty comfortable. Not that people are generally outside at night, but if you are, good for you. And we'll have a light wind around 15 miles an hour. It should be really comfortable. And for our weather headlines, we have some clear and sunny days coming up, but our nights will be a little bit brisk and breezy. It really is starting to feel like October, so spend some time outside as things are getting more comfortable. Back to the desk.
Awesome job. Thank you so much for that, Emily. Charlie, we talk about fall being here, but we've got some dangerous conditions out in the west and Pacific West at that with California's wildfires.
That's right. It's a big concern. There's been over 50,000 acres affected. Lots of homes have been lost. And, this is a very serious situation.
Several thousands of, dozens of thousands of structural damage as well, and at least the death count up to about 30 to 40 lives lost, which is a sad situation there. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's much in the forecast for relief.
That's right. Looking at the current conditions out there, we see 12% humidity. That dry air is never good for fighting fires or preventing them from spreading further away.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is for those people that have evacuated, they don't have to worry about, cleaning up with rain, but the firefighters would love the rain right now. But with it being bone dry out there, 36 wildfires. Of those 36, about a dozen or so are active, and then the other, about a dozen or so are contained, and then 2 dozen just about active still right now, are somewhat under the influence of being contained in some sort of manner. So we just want to send our thoughts and prayers out to everyone out west battling those blazes and picking up any of the pieces that has been left in the way of devastation.
That's right, and hope they can expect some rain later in the week. Looking like for Thursday, Friday, they might have a higher chance of rain, which might help cutting those fires.
And as I look at the radar right now, I do see some rainfall here. This is west of Bakersfield, but unfortunately, it's not in that central California area near Sacramento and Santa Rosa. Yeah,
hopefully we'll see if we can get some wetness up there in Northern California. But right now, we're going to take it out to Jordan out at the wall for a look at what's going on around on our neighborhoods.
Thanks so much, Charlie and Tevin. Right now, we're going to go ahead and take a look at what a beautiful morning we had on campus today. A very cool morning indeed. This is one of our viewer photos of Florida State University. Here you can see some of these fair weather cumulus clouds. A lot of them are also behind that. You see those mare's hairs kind of clouds where it's very thin and wispy, and that's because it's created from ice particles because it's so much colder up in the upper atmosphere. Speaking of colder temperatures, let's look at today's current temperature. Right now we're sitting at a comfortable 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Look how much lower those dew point and humidity values are. from yesterday, significantly lower. 55 degrees is our dew point, actually in the comfortable range, which is much more what we expect to see this time of year, especially during the middle of October. And a strong wind today out of the east-northeast at about 10 miles per hour. We had a couple of gusts actually reach about to 25 miles per hour, so if your hat flew away, that's probably why. Around the rest of the Big Bend, we're going to start to see mid-70s and even some lower 70s reaching into some of our northern regions. 75 here in Tallahassee, 73 Monticello, 73 Thomasville, and 70 degrees in Valdosta as well. So much cooler now that this front has passed us. Today's high temperatures not far from the currents, as a matter of fact. We only hit 75 here in Tallahassee, and 73 they hit as the high in Valdosta. Apalachicola is the only one to hit 80 degrees today, but that is because they are by the water, so it retains the heat just a little bit better. Satellite and radar, this is from last night going early afternoon today, starting into late this evening. Some of those clouds, especially into our southwestern counties, our southeastern counties, started to see those clouds move out of the way. This cold front is beginning to push a lot more moisture out of our region. That's why we had such a strong wind earlier today, and that's because it was moving through our area. If you want to head out on the boat tomorrow, it might not be the best day to do that. We have some south winds at about 5 to 10 knots. The waves are going to be about 1 to 2 feet. And because of all this wind out there, it's bringing a lot of chop up. So we do have a small craft advisory out there for you. And there's your sunset and sunrise times. If you want to head out to the beach, might actually not be a bad day to do so. We are going to have, again, very breezy conditions, so you might want to anchor that umbrella in there just to be case. The surf is going to be quite small at just a foot or less, and that UV index is still going to be very high, so pack that sunscreen and anchor that umbrella down for sure. Tonight's forecast, we're going to see only 63 degrees, so very similar to what we saw last night. Very clear skies, light winds, and low temperatures. And again, that gusty wind is still going to be sticking in our area. Tomorrow, however, we are going to start to see those 80s creep in their way into our forecast. A mix of sun and clouds. It's going to be a little bit warmer, but we're going to wake up to much cooler temperatures. Again, here it is. We're going to start to see those cooler lows, and then it'll start to fade off into the weekend. Those rain chances will increase. However, we will start to see another cold front possibly coming into our next week. For now, Michael's going to take a farther look out at around the rest of Florida.
Yeah, so currently across Florida, we have a wide range of temperatures because the cold front is situated right in the middle of the state. You can see up to the north, we have 70s and 68 in Jacksonville because that cold front has swept through. But down to the south, particularly Orlando and southward, we're still hanging on to the 80s and 85 in Miami, 84 in Key West. And satellite and radar is showing that cold front moving south, but it's starting to stall out, and that's going to happen for these next few days. It's going to stall right around the I-4 corridor and just bring lots of rain and actually rip currents to the east coast of Florida. Current winds, again, with the cold front moving through, we're getting these northeast winds in Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Pensacola, even down in Orlando and Tampa. But we're still getting that east wind down in Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, Miami, and Key West because the cold front still hasn't moved through yet. And again, you can spot where this cold front is. We have 70s from Orlando southward, but look at that. In North Florida, 50s because of that cold front moving through again. And what do these dew points actually really mean? So down in South Florida, we have dew points in the 70s, so it's still oppressive. It still feels like summer up there. But since that cold front moved through last night in North Florida and South Georgia, we have dew points in the 50s. It finally feels like fall in our neck of the woods. Water vapor, again, shows you where that cold front is situated. The drier air behind the cold front, but we have a lot of moisture ahead of that cold front, particularly Orlando southward. For tonight, anywhere ahead of the cold front, you're going to remain in the 70s. It's not going to cool down that much with all that moisture and instability in the air. But behind the front, look at that, 55 in Pensacola, 53 in Tallahassee, and 60 in Jacksonville. And for tomorrow, the cold front is not going to move that much. So we're going to have thunderstorms south of the I-4 corridor, but north of that front, perfect conditions. Finally feeling like fall, a little bit warmer than today. 81 in Tallahassee, 77 in Pensacola, and 77 in Jacksonville. So now what we're going to do is we're going to send it off to Tevin and Charlie with a look at, okay, so we're going to send it off to sports with Tevin.
As a matter of fact, sorry, Tevin's not here, but it's going to be Sammy and I. We're going to be talking about a couple of events going on around campus.
There's a lot of events coming up this weekend. I know the Cat Fest will be Railroad Square, so I'm hopefully going to go to that. Maybe my roommates and I will pick ourselves out a black cat or old dog. I think they may be free. I could be wrong. I know the fundraiser is free. But so that'll be Sunday at 12 p.m.
Perfect place to go and adopt pets, especially even just look around too if you're actually interested in purchasing a pet. There's going to be a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser. There's going to be a lot of music there. We also have the 6th annual Tallahassee Community Healing Days. That's going to be Friday from 6 to 9 and Saturday from 9 to 8.
And Sunday as well, but it's a different location. So I know it's at the Providence Community Center on Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. it's at the, I think it's the Blountstown Highway. I think that's what, I could be wrong. But go check it out, search online, make sure you get that right address in. But I know the motto is building a better Black community. So feel free to go check that out. We also have other events, including the circus.
Ooh, I can't wait. It's already that time of year. It's going to be our FSU's Halloween show series at the Flying High Circus. It's actually going to be happening this week on Thursday and Friday, the 19th and the 20th, for Parents' Weekend. And then the weekend after that, which I'm actually going to, will be that Friday and Saturday, the 27th and the 28th. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been to the circus yet. Have you?
Really cool. So I went last year during the Halloween series.
Really?
It's cool, yeah. I've not gone during the spring yet.
Okay.
So I have to decide if I'm going to go during the fall, spring, maybe both. Okay. It's very cool to check out. Have you been?
I have not. I'm going with my family on not this weekend, but next weekend.
Cool.
We're also bringing one of my cousins. She's just a sophomore here. Again, yet to go to the circus.
Yeah,
but again, it's always been something we've wanted to do. Another thing we want to do is be able to participate in the weathercasting workshop that we have this weekend.
Yes.
And afterwards, we're going to have the alumni tailgate.
Yeah, I know that is starting at 9 a.m. and free food. So may as well check that out as well.
Sounds great. Free food, alumni, weather,
before
like
the game.
Football. What more could you want?
Definitely. My sister is coming down from Louisville.
Wow.
So I'm bringing her to hopefully, different events around town, but it'll be cool. Hopefully we win.
Yes.
With her, but.
Yeah, that'll certainly be interesting. But for now, we are going to send it out to Charlie out at the wall where he's going to take a local look.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Sammy. Look at this beautiful picture we had from campus today, looking out at the integration statue towards from HCB area. You see those sunny skies, little altocumulus clouds. We call those fair weather clouds in our community. But just a beautiful day. Currently in Tallahassee, we see 75 degrees, partly cloudy, with that dew point at 55 degrees, giving us that relative humidity of about 50%. So there's that dry, cool air that we've all been talking about all show, and it's just been such a glorious day, glorious night. You see the winds out of the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at current temperatures around the Big Bend region, we see pretty much mid to low 70s all the way across the board. We got Apalachicola, 77 degrees, a little bit higher than pretty much everybody. 75 out here in Tallahassee. A little bit further south, St. Mark's, 75 degrees. Valdosta, it's all the way down to 70 degrees, being the lowest on the map. Looking at the satellite and radar, not a lot to show. We see these clouds that have already passed from yesterday. That front that actually made its way through. No rain today. Not a lot to show out here on this satellite radar with this beautiful day. Looking at the current air quality, we see all the way along the coast they're a little more clear. They have a little bit better air quality conditions with that breeze coming in following that front and clearing things up for them. Looking at the pollen forecast, we see today out 11.3, so a pretty high allergy day. I know Jordan, he was sniffling earlier today, and as well as yesterday. Mine usually do, but I guess I was pretty lucky. See tomorrow 7.2, so it should clear up a little bit more, give way to a little cleaner air further on, and then seeing those creep back up later on into the week. Looking at your evening planner for tonight, we see a beautiful evening, partly cloudy, 70 degrees at 7 p.m., cooling down all the way down to 60 degrees for a chilly night. Hopefully we can have another open windows night and enjoy a nice, cool sleep time. Now we're going to take it over to Tevin for a look at what's going on around the nation.
All right, thanks so much, Charlie. Yeah, tomorrow's outlook, he talked about the great weather. That will continue tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's high, only about 80 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds and a bit warmer. That is for us here in Tallahassee, but then with the week ahead, you'll see that those mild conditions really continue throughout the weekend with a 20% chance of rain going into the weekend. As for the rest of the country, you can tell that the front is still all of the cooler air is still off towards the eastern part of the United States. So Detroit at 67 degrees right now, Memphis, Tennessee at 70, New Orleans, the Big Easy at 74 degrees, and in Kansas City, they're at 70 degrees as well. Dallas, though, a little bit warmer in the mid to upper 70s. Here's a look at the satellite and radar showing you a dry sky all across the Midwest and parts of the upper Midwest down into the plains as well. But that is that front that is really just stalling out and bringing some clouds to central Florida, maybe a few rain showers as well, but not a lot of wet conditions. But then out here on the west, also, this is good news for those out west because of those fires that are occurring near San Francisco and Santa Rosa. Hopefully some of this rainfall could come onto the coast and bring some moisture to help those firefighters out. But here's some dry air for us here. We are loving this. Maybe not out west, they don't like it, but here I absolutely love it, providing some clear skies, low dew points, low humidity. You're able to go outside and breathe. You don't have to worry about that muggies when you get outside. So current wind speeds right now showing you winds are light and variable in Memphis, 6 miles an hour in New Orleans. But then look at this. Boston is at 10 miles an hour. Detroit, near that jet, 20 miles an hour. And we talk about this high pressure that moved into the region, bringing some nice weather. I can tell you that high pressure will start to move out towards the east and bring some of these cool conditions to warmer conditions because that jet will start to retreat further north. As for our watches and warnings right now, we do have some snow and freeze warnings for those north of Denver and in Montana as well, but then not much as far as severe weather. Here's tonight's forecast. You see the cooler conditions, 43 for Denver, 52 for Albuquerque, 48 for Billings, Montana. But then over here a little bit closer to home, we're going to be at 53 degrees, Boston at 48, and D.C. at 49. As for the rest of the nation on Wednesday, I don't want to replay today. We want to get right into Wednesday. Hump Day, 76 for Memphis and sunny, 74 in Atlanta and also sunny. Tallahassee should remain sunny as well at 81 degrees, maybe a few spotty showers in Miami at 85. And Jordan, you've got more on the forecast in the southeast, right?
Yes, sir, I do. Right now, let's go ahead and jump into some current conditions. Again, still 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies here in Tallahassee. As we head farther south, we are going to see those temperatures rise because that cold front still has yet to reach them yet. As a matter of fact, we're predicting it going to stall out just above central Florida, just bringing a lot more rain to the region rather than cooling them off as much as we hoped. 75 Tallahassee, 81 Orlando, 85 Miami, and 84 in Key West. We are starting to see some of those 60s heading up north, especially as we head into Georgia, where we have Savannah at 68 and Atlanta at 67, and even Wilmington, North Carolina, seeing 62 degrees. So very nice, very cool conditions, especially for this time of year. Satellite and radar, one of the favorite games left to play with you guys, spot the cold front. Where is it? It's going to be this bright line following these clouds. It's pushing all the moisture out of our region, bringing us much drier conditions, much less lower dew points, so you get a lot less of that muggy, icky, sticky feeling that we love, that we are so used to in Florida. I don't say we love it, but we're used to it. 24-hour temperature change, it says we've only changed 2 degrees from yesterday. However, that is due to the fact that we had rain this time yesterday, so the temperatures never got so high. But those heat indices were much higher because of the high humidity. So while it might not seem like we got a whole lot cooler, we certainly did from a heat index point of view. Current winds right now, this is the main factor of what a cold front does. Usually we see a lot of the winds come from the south, bringing moisture up to the southeast from the Gulf of Mexico. However, when we don't have that moisture, the cold front comes through, it pushes the winds in a different direction. Now they're going to be coming from the northwest. And notice what is to the northwest of Tallahassee. It's a lot of land. And land has lots of dry air. So we're going to start to see those drier conditions coming into our region. And because of these high wind values, we are going to start to see a little bit of small craft advisories. Notice just along the entire Big Bend region of Florida, small craft advisories all over the place. We even have some rip current statements out in East Florida, and again, much more small craft advisories as well. Into our northern states, we are going to start to see a couple of those freeze watches and freeze warnings where that cold front did affect them a little bit more than what we saw here. Heading into tonight, it's going to dip down significantly compared to last night. 53 we're predicting tonight for Tallahassee. Starting to see some 40s as we go farther northward into Montgomery, 47 and 47 degrees in Atlanta. Tomorrow, however, it is going to warm up quite quickly. 81 degrees is what we see here in Tallahassee, but rainy conditions for the rest of the state. But after that, it seems to be nice and sunny for our region at least. Isn't that right, Charlie and Tevin?
Absolutely. We like to see those dry conditions here and nice conditions as well. But we also want to talk about something that's sometimes nice and sometimes not so nice, much like the weather. What goes up must come down. Our football team right now, not at the best, but hopefully this weather might actually help them be on their A game as we get into the weekend. Football and football with soccer, both home games this weekend, or this week rather. Soccer takes on Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, this Thursday at 7 p.m. at Seminole Soccer Complex.
That's right. Over 2,000 seats, and you see first touch tomorrow at noon. You see 75 degrees, beautiful temperature, cloudy skies. Keep those temperatures down. Not a lot of humidity again tomorrow, and you see the winds out of the north. That will be tomorrow as the Lady Seminoles take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
And as for Florida State taking on the Louisville Cardinals from Kentucky, the Seminoles take on the Cardinals at 12 o'clock on ESPN. The temperature forecasted to be at 85 degrees. Hopefully we can forecast a win. You want to know something that sounds like temperatures? The last time Florida State played Louisville, last year at Louisville, of course, Louisville had what would become a Heisman winning candidate. The score was 63-20, Louisville.
Yeah. I haven't forgotten it. I'm sure Jimbo hasn't forgotten it.
Oh, that's right.
I'm sure the Knowles football team hasn't forgotten about it. I'm sure they're getting ready for a little bit of payback.
You know, I was gonna say, as an athlete, you never forget this kind of thing.
That's
You use that to feed into motivation and drive to go out and do the best you can. And I think the Seminoles will do that. I've got my ticket. I'm ready to go. We're gonna tailgate with AMS this weekend, right out here on the Love parking lot. You better be there. I'll see you there.
Right. Food, drinks, and good people.
That's right. And we always go out and we cheer on the Knowles, even though it's not the best season, but it's a part of one of the great traditions here at Florida State.
That's right. We got we've got a great program. We've got great facilities, great fans, and it's always fun going out to the game.
Yeah.
You know, a little more fun when we get the W though.
That's right.
Hopefully that'll happen this weekend.
Maybe Sammy can spice things up with a look at the local forecast. Any fun things over there, Sammy?
Not too much going on, actually. We have been sitting at around 75 today, much colder than we have been, especially last week. Look at this, dew point humidity in the 50s, 55 degrees and 50% humidity. Light wind, 10 miles per hour. And our golf index, look at that, 4. That's going to be beautiful tomorrow. So may as well hit the golf course if you are available to go golfing. And tonight's forecast, we are going to be around 63 degrees. Very low temps, light wind, but it will be a beautiful night, so may as well grab a jacket, head outside if you are planning on taking it out. Tomorrow's outlook will be 80 degrees, a little bit warmer than how it was today, but very, very nice. A bit warmer, 5 to 10 miles per hour, so just a light wind. Feel free to go outside, go to the pool if you are available to. So it will be beautiful. And our weather wear, look at that, less humid for today and tonight, light jacket, just like what I'm wearing. Wednesday, it will be pleasant out, but make sure you bring your layers because you never know how it's going to be during the day. The temperatures will be rising during the day, and you may need a jacket in the morning and be able to take it off later in the day. Thursday, it will be quite warm. Make sure you have your sunglasses available because the sun will be out. So it will be very nice these next couple of days, and it will be pretty warm. So be prepared for any weather possible. But let's take a look at that satellite and radar. So not much going on in our area. You could see that cold front that passed through us earlier yesterday, but not much on the radar currently. And look at those winds and temperatures. So this is happening through our area right now, all the way into night. 63 degrees, low temps. today's high, it was around 81 degrees. So pretty warm, but not as much as what we have been experiencing yesterday. 74 over in Perry and 78 in Valdosta. So temperatures have been pretty good out. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Wednesday will be 81 all the way into Thursday 80. Beautiful days, and the night temperatures are going to be around 60, dropping into the low 50s for Thursday, and maybe even a chance of rain for that weekend. Hopefully not, though, if you are going to the game. May even bring some rain for the following Monday and possibly even Tuesday. But now we are going to go back to the desk and finish up the show.
Yeah, so we were like the 7-day forecast. I was just looking at that. Honestly, those mornings are going to be really cool, really nice,
Yes.
feeling like fall. But it's going to warm up quickly with like very low cloud cover.
Yeah, definitely. So make sure you have a jacket available in the morning for classes, but you may have to take it off later in the day. Make sure you have layers of tank top, shirt,
Yeah.
whatever you need, just in case.
Yeah, those mornings are cool. Well, for me, they're not really cool, but I know for people from Florida, those are kind of cool for them.
Hey, I'm used to the cold temperatures here in
Yeah,
Florida by
same,
now.
same.
But hopefully it will be a nice weekend for us, though, and bringing it into the game, too.
Yeah, the game, by the weekend, those temperatures are going to warm up into the mid-80s, and there's going to be a little increase of moisture because of another cold front coming.
Yeah.
But in terms of the game, it's going to be really nice, especially for a noon game.
Yes.
Those noon games aren't really the best.
I'd rather have that 8 p.m. game.
I'll take it for like the
Yeah.
lower 80s. I'll take that.
Yeah, definitely. At least it will be a little bit cooler out, hopefully. We'll see, though, hopefully.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of other events you could check out. I know I mentioned events on like the circus. I think it was Thursday, Friday, and then the following week will be Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, with the Halloween
So-
series. And also, like, since Halloween is coming up and it finally feels like fall.
Yes,
If you have
exactly.
any time during the weekend, it would be nice to go to like a pumpkin patch, go to like a corn
Yes.
maze, like just have
Very
some
cool.
fun during the weekend.
I already carved my pumpkin. It sadly crashed within a week. I don't know why I decided to carve it so early, but I was excited.
Yeah, that's what happens with that heat and humidity in Florida.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're into pumpkin carving and all that, actually, when you have time, like us on Facebook and
Even
also
Twitter.
follow us on Twitter.
Yep, /FSU Weather. Check out the Instagram. We have all of them.
Yeah, and all our previous newscasts are on YouTube, youtube.com/FSU Weather.
Yep. So make sure to check us out. Hopefully you're watching right now on YouTube. And I am student meteorologist Sammy Squires.
And I'm student meteorologist Michael Onden. Have a
good
great night.